All right, good afternoon, everybody. We're going to share with you today one of my favorite desserts. And this one is high in protein. And I know you're not getting enough protein. How do I know? Because most people don't get enough protein. How much protein do you think you need per day? Good question. Most people say 1 gram for every pound of body weight. I'd say probably about 60 to 70%. So if I'm 180 pounds, then my protein intake should be around 120, but I try to get closer to 180. And most people get less than 100. So unless you're eating a lot of meat or things that's a lot of densely protein, you're probably not getting enough. So to make this work, it's going to be faye. I just found out how to really pronounce this today. My daughter taught me, my wonderful daughter over here taught me. It's not faye, it's not phage, it's faye. That's how we pronounce it in the Greek. We're going to use faye Greek yogurt. Why? Because it's very high in protein. In fact, 1 serving has 17 grams of protein, and I'm going to use 2 servings to make this little dessert today. So it's going to be around 34 grams of protein, which is way more than most people get per meal. I'm going to have stevia, which is a plant extract. This is the sweetener I'm going to use rather than regular sucrose sugar. It's a lot better for you, 0 calories, and very nutritious. And I'm going to have some strawberries, some fresh strawberries. It's going to be one of the things I'm going to add in, and some chopped pecans. So this is going to be really good. Let's get into this. So with protein, many of the signs of protein deficiency are your muscles become weak, flaccid. You don't have the muscle tone that you usually have when you are protein deficient. A person has minimal protein, their muscles are not going to be full like this. This is a hard muscle. That's hard. That's solid. You want to be like that. So you'll have weakness in your muscles if you have protein deficiency. So there's my yogurt, my first part of this. I'm going to have some. You can have different berry types. I usually have blueberries. I've mixed them a little bit. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. Just blend it up. Remember, when you're eating this, it's all about macros. Macros is all about your proteins, your carbohydrates, your calories, and creating the balance that you want, because fuel, as we know, is food, and food is fuel. It's not about what tastes good, even though this will taste good. You should be forcing your palate to really appreciate and like food for its nutritional content, not so much for taste. Though you want to make them taste good, otherwise who wants to eat yucky food all the time? All right, there's my strawberries. And I'm going to blend in a little bit of stevia. This is usually twice as sweet as sugar. So that's what we're looking so far. And pecans. Now, I didn't get all of my macros calculated before I started, but this will probably be about 40 grams of protein, low in carbs, because the only thing you're getting your carbs from is mainly from the strawberries. And I think the yogurt does it have any carbs? It has 5 grams of carbs per serving, so you're getting about 10. So I'd say probably about 15 grams of carbs in this meal. There's no carbs in the stevia. And this is what we're going to have for today. Very good. Much better for you than the regular protein or the regular yogurt that you buy. And I like the yogurt that you buy, even the Greek yogurts, because it has a lot of additional sweeteners and flavorings and colors and artificial ingredients that's probably not the best for you. So what I like about this is simple ingredients. It's all whole foods for the most part, and it's more nutritious. And it has all the blends that you need. Now, I had a couple questions. I want to answer some of your questions that I've gotten through the email. One of my biggest questions is, I must be on something. I must be on something. What are you taking? That's a good question. You got to be on something. You cannot, it's impossible. You got to be, people are just calling me out, not being natural. Nothing. I take nothing of that sort. No TRT, no growth hormone, steroids. Never have, never will. 100% natural all my life. It's just my philosophy. It's the way I've lived. I've been training. I eat well and just take care of myself. And you know, God has given me the genetics and genetically gifted parents, and it's a lot of hard work. I don't want to deny the fact that it is hard work. I work out every day, 6 days a week, for about an hour per day, and my diet is really clean. I've tried to get rid of all the junk foods and the bad foods and the fast foods and comfort foods, all that stuff that really kind of, makes you tired and doesn't give you the best outcome. So the foods that you eat will have a lot to do with how you live. But no, I've never done any of the HGH or any of the testosterone replacements, though I'm curious about it. I'd like to see what it would be like, and maybe at some other point I would try it. But right now I don't feel the need to do that. Everything is working well. I had my testosterone tested a couple of weeks ago. It's 604, which is pretty good for the age that I am, be 64 in a couple of weeks. So that's not bad. 604 uses around 300 to 700 is the average. Now, when you're younger, it's around 800 or more, and sometimes people have really high peaks there. So no replacement, testosterone replacement. It's my training routine. I'm going to be putting my program together. And in fact, I'm putting it together now, stuff that you can use at home. It's an at-home workout plan that you can do right there. You can do it with just basic elastic bands, a few dumbbells, a bench, and basically floor exercises. So it's going to be a full body routine. And even though it's an at-home workout, it's not like it's going to be easy. It's going to be really challenging. And I've been putting it together, and I've been sore just from doing the demos and the things I've been kind of using to show the exercises, to demonstrate those. It have been sore. So it's going to be a full body routine coming in a couple of weeks, showing exactly how to use it. Other things is the type of foods. My diet is based around, as I said, macronutrients. Macros. It's the whole foods, getting as much whole foods in as I can. That means apples, the bananas, fruits, vegetables, steaming everything. I steam my rice, I steam my vegetables, everything is steamed, and as much as I can, I try to eat things raw. That's probably the best form. And if I was ever want to get really specific on my diet and want to really try to clean up my diet a lot, I would probably start juicing. I probably have one of my meals per day would be just basically juicing. Protein was the other one. How much protein and what kind of types of protein? I was a vegan for almost a year. I started becoming a vegan last Thanksgiving meal last year, which was my first vegan day, and I did it for about 6 months, but I was changing my routine often, and I wasn't getting enough protein. So I started to incorporate whey protein, and I started to incorporate eggs in my diet. So I started a little bit of the dairy and eggs. So I'm kind of an ovo-lacto vegetarian now. I don't eat meat, even though I'm not opposed to it. I think I had tuna a couple weeks ago, so I'm not like totally not having it, but I rarely ever have it, hardly ever. So I'd say I'm ovo-lacto vegetarian. The type of protein is the whey protein, which is the one that I use for the most part. You've seen these. Yeah. It comes in chocolate and vanilla. So I have maybe one of those per day. And with my oatmeal, I will have protein. I'll stir up a little protein in there, just a couple of ounces, and then I'll pour it into my oatmeal, and that's my sweetener for my oatmeal, that plus raisins. I have oatmeal every day. Eggs every day. I have at least 6 eggs. Eggs are one of the best proteins that you can eat. It has what's called the highest protein efficiency ratio. Now, protein is measured, and that's what's called a PER, protein efficiency ratio. And eggs has the highest. It's the number one. And then the meats have a less, and then it comes down to dairy products. So if you're lactose intolerant, most people can have the whey, even if they're lactose intolerant. It usually doesn't bother them. So the other question was, how long have I been training? I've been working out now a long time. I think I started when I was like 19. So that's over 43 years, something like that. I've had breaks in between. I've been a competitive bodybuilder, and then I've taken a season off from that, and way back, last time I've done that was like almost 30 years ago, and I enjoyed that. So I've always worked out, but at different stages of it. Sometimes really more intensely, and now not as much as I used to. Another one is how heavy do I train heavy? I don't train heavy anymore. I used to train heavy and I enjoyed it. Back in the day when you were younger, you tried to destroy yourself by trying to see how much weight you can lift. And it's bragging rights. You know, the one who lifts the most weight in the gym wins. And I didn't win, but I was pretty much first or second. So the idea was pushing as much weight as possible, because actually I thought you had to have gains by pushing heavy weight. As you get older, you find out that you can make gains without having to lift as heavy, and also doesn't put as much stress on your joints. So right now, at this point of my life, I'm trying to protect my health by not forcing the heavy weight on the joints. It's really more stressful than it used to be. It takes me longer to recover now. So if I have an injury, rather than that injury returning and recovering in maybe a week or so, it's taking me a lot longer. So that's one thing I'm very careful about. So now my weight is about 60 to 70% of what I used to lift. So if I was squatting or bench pressing 300 pounds, now it's maybe 200 pounds is as far as I would go. And so that's it. No heavy lifting now. Do I do cardio? No, I don't do cardio. Bad, shame on me. I've never liked cardio. Is it necessary? Absolutely. Now here's how it worked for me. I work out for an hour, as I mentioned, every day, and I'm at a fast pace. So my heart rate is going pretty high, at a high rate for the whole hour. So that gives me the cardio effects or the benefits of cardio without doing a separate cardio session. Now, if you get that cardio benefit from your workouts, you may not need cardio like I do. But if I needed to burn more fat, if I wanted to lose more weight, or my weight loss is not happening quick enough, and some people, metabolism is not as fast as maybe mine, so they need to do something additional to kind of get the body burning more. So that'll be the benefit of cardio for those who don't do it already. But if you feel like metabolism is fast enough and your workouts are getting you where you need to be as far as losing weight or gaining muscle or whatever you need to be, you may not need to add cardio. But if you have a slow metabolism and you're not seeing the progress you want, then I would add maybe 30 minutes per day of cardio, either with bikes. I like jump rope. I've shared that before. That's one of my favorite forms of cardio, is jump rope. So that's what I do. A little bit of cardio if I really need it, but for now, I'm off of it. Okay, that's it for now. Let me see if there's any comments. I didn't have an opportunity to see your comments today because I'm in the kitchen. Usually I have my laptop and everything up, but I wasn't prepared. Send me your questions also. If you have questions that you have for me to be able to answer during other lives, because I'll be going on live again tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be talking about the advantages of training and how that will improve as you age, how that will help you as you age, because when you're younger, it seems to be optional, but when you get older, training becomes essential in order to give you that vitality, to restore energy, to just basically keep the body healthy. Exercise is how you ward off disease, ward off all the effects of aging and all those things that's going on like that. Okay. I'm missing your comments over here. But whatever your comments are, I will respond tomorrow when we go live again. I hope you benefited from this. I'm going to have my yogurt. All right. Make the day awesome. I'll see you tomorrow.